Today we will be exploring the historic little town of Genoa, Nevada. Set at the base of the Sierras, Genoa is the oldest permanent settlement in the state of Nevada and only 25 minutes east of the beautiful Lake Tahoe. You may occasionally see the local woodland deer come down from the Sierras to walk along the town and rest on the lawns of the Genoa residents. In June of 1851, Mormon settler John Reese and his fellow Mormons founded Genoa, originally called Mormon Station, a trading post and provisioning station for wagon trains traveling along the Emigrant Trail. John Reese took land claims that extended from the now Wally's Hot Springs area down south into Jacks Valley, Nevada, and built what would come to be known as Mormon Station. After construction of the Mormon Station was finished, Reese went on to construct a home for his family who were in New York at the time. Once construction was completed, he sent for his family to make their way along the Emigrant Trail. He later added a blacksmith shop and a large corral for livestock to his land. The Emigrant Trail, also called the Overland Emigrant Trail, passed through what is now Main Street in Genoa. In 1857, when the Mormons were called back to Salt Lake City, Utah, John Reese made the decision to stay at Mormon Station with his family, safeguarding his land and business investments. In 1859, Reese later returned to Salt Lake City, Utah, after his businesses suffered a decline in profits. Mormon church leader Orson Hyde is given credit for naming the town of Genoa. On January 17th of 1852, the Utah Territorial Legislature approved an act designating the western section of Utah Territory as the county of Carson. Orson Hyde was appointed for the task of defining the state line between California and Utah, taking a survey of Mormon Station and dividing it into lots. L.J. Arlington wrote in the Mormons of Nevada, quote, "The assignment of Hyde was to organize the territory, conduct court business, prepare for the establishment of a mission among the Indians, and provide a way station for Mormon immigration headed from Oregon and California to Salt Lake Valley." The local Indians in the Genoa region were the nomadic Washoe tribe. Orson Hyde was sent to Mormon Station on May 17th of 1855. A survey party was set up to establish the boundary lines of California. On September 7th, the survey was completed, and Hyde renamed the Mormon Station to Genoa, as the story goes, in honor of the explorer Christopher Columbus and his birthplace in Genoa, Italy. Hyde held an election for the county seat, and in 1856, 11 men were elected and Mormon Station was chosen for the site. Genoa had officially become the first county seat of Carson County in the Utah Territory. Hyde later became the first probate judge in the town of Genoa. Court matters were first held in the loft of John Reese's trading post. It was also used as a hotel for pioneers traveling and needing a place to rest. By 1856, a majority of the original Mormon settlers left the town of Genoa. On March 2nd of 1861, the United States Congress passed an act creating the Nevada Territory, and in that same year, Nevada counties were formed and Genoa became the county seat for Douglas. Genoa served briefly as the provisional capital of the Nevada Territory before it was relocated to Carson City. 3 years later, on October 31st of 1864, Nevada became the 36th state in the United States of America. Genoa's first courthouse was built in 1865, and official matters were held there until 1910. The first legislature met in Genoa in December of 1859. Hard-working immigrants drained the Carson Valley of the marshland it was to cultivate the land and raise livestock. Orchards and vegetable gardens were built and maintained. Barns were constructed with blacksmith shops nearby to make the needed farm equipment and other necessary tools. Settlers in the area included the Danish, the German, Italian, English, Welsh, and the Irish. On June 28 of 1910, the town of Genoa suffered a devastating tragedy. A resident of the almshouse, which was a hotel for the poor, was desperately trying to rid his room of troublesome bedbugs, and decided to place a still-burning pan of sulfur under his straw bed. Well, you can imagine what happened next. Within seconds, his bed was on fire, and it spread throughout the whole hotel. It was a windy day in Genoa, and the sparks that flew off the building ignited the neighboring structures. 2 blocks of the business district in Genoa burned to the ground, and county officials quickly removed important documents, ledgers, furniture, and anything of importance and value from the Genoa courthouse that was under threat of burning. The jail was emptied of its only prisoner, who was moved to safety. The Genoa courthouse caught fire and was burned down to the bricks. Sadly, the historic Mormon station caught fire as well, and was completely and utterly destroyed. Repairs to the courthouse were authorized, but in 1916 the county seat was moved to the town of Minden by the persuading of Dangberg Jr. Sadly, a large number of businesses that also suffered the destruction of the 1910 fire relocated their businesses to the towns of Garnerville and Minden, Nevada. In 1947, the Mormon station was reconstructed and rebuilt to replicate the original 1851 trading post. There are only 2 museums in the town of Genoa: the Mormon State Historic Park, which is where we're at now, and the Courthouse Museum across the street. We are at the Mormon Station State Historic Park in Genoa, Nevada, the oldest settlement in the state of Nevada, owned and operated by the Nevada State Parks Department. And the second museum, Genoa Courthouse Museum, owned and operated by the Douglas County Historical Society. Every fall, Genoa celebrates their annual Candy Dance and Arts and Crafts Fair. The origin of the Candy Dance dates back to 1919. After World War I, the town of Genoa had very little town funds and could not afford streetlights for the small community. Lillian Virgin Finnegan, daughter of the town judge Daniel Webster Virgin, and member of the suffragette movement, had the idea of hosting a town dance to build the funds for the streetlights. Lillian and fellow ladies of the town gathered together and made candy they could pass around during the dance and celebrations. The dance raised enough funds to purchase 10 streetlights, of which 7 still stand today. The town soon came to the realization that the monthly electric bill would continue to need maintaining, and so the Candy Dance became an annual celebration every September, and is now a 2-day event. In August of 2019, the town of Genoa, in honor of the 100-year anniversary of the Candy Dance, presented a 7-foot permanent bronze statue of Lillian Virgin Finnegan with one of the original streetlights illuminating her at night. Genoa approximately sells about 2 tons of candy at this celebration. The Arts and Crafts Fair was later added to the festivities in the 1970s. Many famous historical figures made their way and left their mark in the historic town of Genoa. One of the famous legends of the Carson Valley was Snowshoe Thompson, born in 1827. Thompson was a mail carrier to trek over the Sierra Mountains, delivering mail to the isolated families. Thompson took his first trip in January of 1856 and continued to make the long 90-mile treks through the Sierras, even through the winter months, until 1876. He was never paid for his 20 years of service. You can visit his grave and the grave of his wife and his only son at the Genoa Cemetery today. Interestingly enough, on his tombstone, his name has been misspelled. Nevada's first newspaper was printed in Genoa, and for a little while, one of the writers for the local newspaper was none other than the author Samuel L. Clemens, or, more commonly known by his pen name, Mark Twain. On November 30th of 1990, the film Misery, starring Kathy Bates and James Caan, hit the theaters, grossing over $10 million opening weekend. With the setting of the film taking place in a small mountain town, Genoa was chosen as the filming location. If you pay close enough attention, you might recognize some of the locations, although a few of the buildings were constructed solely for the film, and later demolished after its release. With 16 miles of trails, Genoa is the perfect place for those who enjoy the outdoors. There is so much you can find yourself doing in this beautiful town. You could even visit Nevada's oldest pub for a refreshment. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed learning about Genoa, Nevada. I know I truly did. Stay tuned, there are plenty more videos to come. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you love finding new adventures or learning about history, subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this one. And remember, with a little bit of history, you can discover a whole new story.